Okay, so this is example 2, and similarly to the last example, we are going to graph, right, a linear equation. So my linear equation is the following, right? That's my linear equation, right, in 2 variables. And we're going to do this by using the intercepts, right? Or in other words, by finding the intercepts. So intercepts, again, are special points on the graph that touch the x and the y axis. You can pick any point you want. I mean, you can let x be 1 and find y. You can x be -5. It doesn't matter just because there's going to be, again, well, this is important. Let me just say this, right? If you graph, okay, if this is, oops, if this is your line, right, okay, obviously the x-intercept is right there. This is not the graph of this equation. This is just in general. And here's the y-intercept, right? But there's a lot of points on this line, right? There's one right here, right here. Well, it's on the green line. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. I mean, there's infinitely many points on this line. So if you wanted to let, you know, x be 1, right, you'd plug it into the equation, and then you would get a y value. That's equals, right? Similarly, if you let x be a bigger number, then you're going to get another y. But 0 is nice because anything times 0 is 0. Okay, so let's shrink. Oops. Okay, so let's move that up there. Okay, so let's find the x-intercept. Well, we know that we're just going to let y be 0, right? And it doesn't matter if you find the y-intercept first or the x-intercept. So we have 3x plus 4y. Okay, 4 and my y, well, is 0. So I substitute that guy. And by the way, I forgot to write something. Okay, remember this is your ax plus by equals c, right? A is 3, b is 4, and c is 0. And this will be important. It's nice to know when c is 0, something very interesting happens. Okay, so let's move this up. Well, 4 times 0 is 0. 3x equals 0. So 3 times what is 0? Well, 0, right? 3 times 0 is 0. So you can write x equals 0. Or if you want to use a multiplicative property of equality, you get x equals 0 divided by a number is 0. Right? Remember the OK, right? The 0 is OK on the top, but if you have a number over 0, that's bad, right? That's the knockout. So if that helps, I'm not sure if it helps, great. If not, then don't use it. Okay, so I found my x-intercept. So I input y to be 0, and what was my output? It was also 0. So when this happens, right, well, this is technically the origin, right? The x-intercept and the y-intercept are exactly the same because it, I mean, you can see, well, let me move this up, right? This point I'm talking, this is the origin. And again, this green line is not the equation of this line. Right, this touches the x-axis and the y-axis. So this is the only point that the x and y-intercept are the same. Okay, so, oops, it's too small. So let's see, what do we have? So, I mean, we don't have to do this part because it's going to be the same. You're going to get 0, 0. So when this happens, so I'm going to quickly just sketch what we have. So, I mean, we have that point right there, 0, 0. but I don't know where. Okay, to move, there's my arrow, right? I don't know, I mean, where's my other point so I can graph the line? You know, is it here, is it here, is it here? So we have to find another point, and that point is not going to be in the x or y intercept because we already found both of them. So here you can, if you let x be, I don't know, let's say x is 2, right? What will y be? So if x is 2, well, all we have to do is plug it into our equation. So let's see, we have 3x plus 4y equals 0. And 3 times, well, you're letting x be 2, so plug in 2. Again, you can choose any value you want. 3 times 2 is 6. Excuse me. Y equals 0. I want to solve for y. This is really plus 6 minus 6 minus 6. And I get 4y equals negative 6. Let me move this up. 4 times what is negative 6? Probably going to be a fraction. And we get y equals negative 6/4, but you can divide this guy by 2, right? So you get negative 3/2, or if you want to say negative 1.5. So what point did you find? You found, well, you said x was 2, and your output was negative 1.5. So we can plot this point. So let me move this up. So it was at 2, negative 1.5. So zoom that in. 2 and then negative 1.5. Well, here's negative 1, right? Here's negative 2. So 2 and then negative 1.5, right, somewhere right there. So then we can connect the dots. Assume this is a nice ruler and it's straight. So let's see, the equation of our line is, all right, this guy is 3x plus 4y equals 0. Oh, and before I forget, right, this, anytime c is 0, that means that your line is going to go through, the origin, which is 0, 0. So that's just kind of nice to know. Okay, hopefully that helps.